Welcome everyone to All Angle Sports Investment Weekend Preview Show with myself, Steve Wiss, and Ashley Waite. Into kind of the soccer off season. Not too much going on in terms of league play. Several international matches around the globe, but overall, not too much of a packed schedule. How you been doing this week, Ashley? I'm guessing you've had a bit less on your plate compared to normal.
Yeah, well, not really less volume wise, surprisingly, but yeah, right now we're just kind of treading water. It's really kind of tough for me anyway, capping the sport right now. But we're up, I think, a few units on the week. Barely made it's like 0.22 units today. Yeah, I had a couple of letdowns in the qualifiers, but yeah, for me though, in this business, like when you're going through kind of a lull, if you're able to have any kind of positive days, which is what we're doing. So yeah, I'll take it, kind of just trudge along until we hit a really good day and just make some, teeny bits of money in the meantime. So yeah, not too bad.
Not too well, just a couple of months until the EPL returns, so you got that to look forward to, Ashley.
Oh yeah, can't wait.
What's the first fixture? I think Burnley Man City, I think, is the first fixture. It's going to be a Friday night game in middle of August. So, but anyway, international
I am
games.
actually excited to see the teams that got promoted. Like Sheffield Wednesday and then Luton and everything. I'm excited for their fans, and
Yes,
see how they kind
yeah.
of do. So
I'm excited
that
for
cool.
yeah. I agree with you. I think certainly Burnley and Luton fans have got a lot to be excited about. I think Sheffield United as well. We're pleased to be back in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, plenty of weeks ahead until then. International round of fixtures. We're going to be talking about games for the next 2 or 3 days. Where shall we start then? Let's go with a game that we've both got some selections in. In fact, you've actually got a double as well involved in this game. It's Belgium against Austria. Euro 2024 qualifying match in Group F. Austria have a 100% record to start things off. So do Belgium, but they've only played one game so far. Sweden are also in this group. Top two go automatically into the tournament. Now, we've actually got the same pick here. Over 2.5 goals at plus 102. I'll let you have the floor first with this one.
Yeah, I'm going to have to cash out and replace my bet because I actually took it at minus 115 and I saw it this morning at minus 112. So yeah, plus 102 is fantastic value here. These are two teams. I mean, everyone knows Belgium, right, with the players that they have. But Austria, I think, can contribute to the total here. I thought about taking BTTS and over 2.5, but when you're getting such good value on 2.5, it just doesn't make any sense to complicate it. So, yeah, I think that Austria can score here. I've been impressed with them probably the last couple of years, but definitely the last year. Yeah, so I think both teams do score, and I can see, Belgium scoring more than one or possibly even Austria. And I just think at that price, let's don't complicate it. Just a straightforward. We need 3 goals to win, and I feel pretty good that we will.
They got a new manager, Domenico Tedesco, Belgium, since the World Cup, and I think he started life pretty well by beating Sweden 3-0 away from home, which was an eye-catching result. That's not an easy place to go. There was also a friendly against Germany that ended 3-2, and that would have been more competitive than you think because Germany are, of course, gearing up for this tournament as hosts. So I don't think much has changed with Belgium. They're going to be quite attack-minded and entertaining. They've always been entertaining over the last 5-6 years anyway. Right. And Austria are, I think, quite a good team to watch as well. They've always seen goals in Austria games. But both ends of the field, they rarely keep it tight. But they do pack some firepower themselves. I think this is a both team to score match, to be honest.
Yeah.
Minus 108 you could get on both teams to score. I strongly considered that instead. Mm-hmm. But I know what Belgium are like. Sometimes they can just, run right. Maybe 3-0 isn't an out of the question scoreline. So plus money on over 2.5 goals. it made a lot of sense to me here, to be honest. I think this is going to be a good match to watch. And I think Austria are going to be swinging at the moment. This is a bit of a free hit for them. It's the hardest match in the group. They can afford to lose the game. I don't think they're going to feel the pressure. So why not have a go here? So I'm liking the goals. Belgium against Austria. You've got this match involving a double as well.
I do.
This is the double I'm putting on screen. Over 1.5 goals. Self-explanatory again. We fancy over 2.5. For this bet, you only need over 1.5. And then also Albania on the money line. This is Albania against Moldova, I do believe. I actually did have a look at this game, I must say.
Don't tell me you were going to pick Moldova.
I was actually a little bit put off because Moldova drew against the Czech Republic last time out, didn't they? But if I remember correctly, that was a match which the Czechs absolutely battered them in. But Albania are you know what? They're a team I don't bet on very often in international football. So but you
I don't either. I do. In Moldova, some of these lower echelon teams, like I always fade Moldova, Andorra, San Marino, and the number one team I always look to see who's playing them is Liechtenstein. Whoever Liechtenstein plays, just take the other team, and 99% of the time you're going to hit it. But Moldova, I mean, they've improved a little. San Marino, Malta, some of these teams have improved a little bit, but I do think that Albania should be able to beat them here. I don't think it'll be like a pummeling or anything like that. But I do trust them enough to get the win. And like you said, with Belgium, if I like over 2.5, obviously like over 1.5. You want to take the BCTS instead of over 1.5 and shoot for some pretty good plus money there. Go for it. But you guys know, till the day I die in this business, I'm going to take the safest route possible to make me and you guys money. So do with that what you will.
Yeah, this is actually Moldova's first away match internationally since 22nd of September. They played their last 5 games at home. So, yeah, it's a much more difficult prospect for them away from home. Albania, as I say, they're a team I can never really get much of a hold on, but they did beat Armenia 2-0 in their last home game. So there should be a goofing clash, shouldn't there? Really, between these.
There should be, yeah. I mean, they're not like minus 500 favorites or anything like that, but I think they're a good piece for a double, and that does get us like, what's the price? Around minus 120, which I think is good. They haven't played like in the last year, but it hasn't been. I want to say maybe 2 years ago they played. The last 2 times they played, Albania have beaten them 0, and the last time they played it was like 4-0. But you can kind of take that with a grain of salt. But it wasn't like 5 years ago, so I think it kind of does factor in a little bit. I'll take my shot that they can beat a slightly improving Moldova team, but a team with a long way to go before they're considered a good side.
A long way to go indeed. That should really be a home win, even if it's not a huge one. I'm going to go to Norway. Norway against Scotland. This is my pick. And I'm taking Norway straight on the nose here. No fucking around with this one. If I was, not feeling as so confident or playing a percentage game, I would take the minus quarter handicap. But we'll go straight on the nose with this one. I think it's a must-win game for Norway. To be honest, I'm fed up with this national team of Norway. Yeah. Because the talent they have to get the results that they've been having in the last 3 or 4 years, it's just not acceptable. Yep. This team need to reach an international tournament. Everyone wants to see the likes of Haaland, Odegaard on the world stage. And once again, they've started proceedings off terribly by losing to Spain 3-0 and then only drawing against Georgia. I mean, already they're under massive pressure in this group. Scotland have won 2 out of 2 games. Yeah. There's been a lot said about Scotland beating Spain, actually. I think the Scots are getting a bit overconfident about themselves. There's a few articles going around, people saying, suddenly Scotland are a team to be feared again. I'm not having it myself. They are an improving nation, but Norway are definitely the better team. for me on paper, pound for pound, man for man. They've got the better individual players, no doubt whatsoever. The only area I don't like Norway is goalkeeper. I don't think they've got any good goalkeepers at all in the squad, that is. That doesn't really matter. I don't think Scotland will offer too much here anyway. I mean, come on, if Haaland actually doesn't play that often for Norway. If you look back at the games that he's missed for his country, he's missed a lot. But he's in the squad here. And I think he's going to want to make his point.
Is he a decent price to score too?
I've not actually looked at his price any time, but I think Haaland's going to want to put on a show for his country now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you said, Norway, they're definitely underperforming. And Haaland, just with all the confidence in the world, because he took his talents from the Bundesliga to the EPL, and goodness, hasn't missed a beat. I mean, in fact, if he keeps on going the way he is, I'm going to be in the top few players in the history of the EPL, I think. So, yeah, I mean, with his confidence and the talent they have, if you're getting them at a decent price, I might sprinkle that. I mean, it's time for Norway to do something. You know, like you said, they're not up against a juggernaut here. They're playing Scotland, for fuck's sake. So
you've absolutely took the words out of my mouth. And he's plus 120 anytime scorer, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, will you get Haaland at a bigger price in a home game?
Right. Yeah. You probably want to see him that price again for the next decade. So, yeah, I think that's worth a sprinkle. I'm going to study it, a little bit more. But I agree. Norway's been underperforming. A couple of teams are irritating me like that.
They piss me off.
Denmark being one. Stay the hell away from that team. I don't know what the fuck their problem is right now. But, yeah, it's kind of do or die right now for Norway. Now they have the talent. They really don't have an excuse. They're playing a side they could beat. So, yeah, plus money. I like your play. And one of the best players on the planet at plus money. I'll take a small swing at him too.
The thing with Norway here, even if they win this game, they're still potentially in big trouble. If Scotland if Scotland win the games that they're supposed to win, like beating Georgia twice, beating Cyprus twice, it doesn't matter if they lose in Spain. They're going to be forcing Norway to basically go to Scotland and also win in Scotland, that's a far tougher game away to Scotland rather than at home to Scotland. But so in a way, I think Norway, the pressure's on them, but also they're kind of swinging because it's do or die territory. So I think they certainly need to get the result here. If they don't win this one, I'm absolutely fucking done with this nation until the next bunch.
I don't blame you. They're kind of like for you right now. How Denmark is for me. Like I didn't take Denmark's team total or anything today, thank goodness. I did take a shot at Rasmus Højlund to score, and that guy was on fire. But yeah, I don't know. I'm right there. I think in the same mindset with Denmark as you are Norway. So like either they're going to do something or they're not, and if they can't do it here, then they just need to stop trying, I think.
Just before we finish with this game, I'll mention another player for Norway. I don't know what system they're going to play, but it's probably going to be two strikers. So someone will play up front with Haaland. And it's interesting that they added the Brann striker, Bård Finne, to the squad.
Nice.
They'll probably start with Alexander Sørloth, Jørgen Strand Larsen, who play in better leagues. But if Bård Finne gets on the field, plus 300 anytime score. There's no one in this squad apart from Haaland who's in better goal scoring form than. Oh yeah,
he's in fantastic. You actually turned me on to that guy. And then I've been loving taking him. So yeah, that should be. Hopefully he at least plays some, right? And they develop him because he's definitely a talent for sure.
Shea Adams is ruled out injured for Scotland, I do believe so. Their biggest threat is probably going to be someone like Dykes, or I don't know really. I don't actually see Scotland scoring in this game, to be brutally honest with you. It's a big loss, Shea Adams. But anyway, yeah, Norway money line plus 110. That's my pick for the game. Let's move on to another fixture. This is your game here, Armenia. I have to say, I apologize if you lost on this game tonight, actually, but I rose a big smile when I saw Armenia beat Wales after what Wales did to us in that Croatia game. Do you remember that Croatia-Wales?
I do.
And we took a bit of grief, didn't we? We took a bit of grief after. I knew that night. I said they've got to play an awful lot better I think they only beat someone else 1-0 as well.
Yeah.
But Armenia, the lad who plays in MLS for, is it Columbus Crew, Zelarian, scored a couple of goals against Wales. He's a very good player. He's one of the best players in MLS.
Well, that's not a very high bar, but yeah. That's good that he's playing here. I don't know anything about these individual players for these teams, and I'm not going to pretend to. I was on the over of 2.5 and over 2.75. I had two separate bets on Turkey when they played Latvia today, and I felt like both teams could contribute there, and I feel the same way here. So I could see, I think this one even going over. I mean, when you look at Armenia, they're slight favorites, and I don't know if I agree with that or not, but it doesn't matter. I mean, Latvia got a red card and down a man, and still managed to score versus Turkey, down a man. So yeah, I think they can definitely score on Armenia. I think they lost in the last second to Turkey, but they definitely went toe to toe with them. So I don't think they come in here with a lack of confidence. And yeah, they leaked goals, obviously, gave up 3 to Turkey. So I think both teams can contribute. And I think at -115, pretty decent price for it.
I just actually looked at the result from Turkey because I was on the over 2.5 as well. Mm-hmm. So it's one of those, once the pick had won, I didn't really look at the score. I actually thought it finished 2-1 to Turkey.
Oh my God.
And it ended 3-2.
Yeah, I was looking at it, and then they got the red. So I was like, oh, Turkey, maybe money line. And then Latvia scored, and I think Turkey scored like less than a minute later. But I broke my unit up on the 2.5 and then the 2.75 for those Jews, and they had to score like 17 goals in that one to get those 5 goals. So they just kept disallow, which usually is a bad omen for me. But yeah, they came through with 5 goals. So yeah, Latvia can put up 2. One of those with 10 men versus Turkey. I think with a full squad here, they can score versus this Armenia side.
This is a Monday game. I don't think I've actually got any Monday picks myself, but I'm just looking at Turkey. Turkey at -104 to beat Wales. That is a wheelbarrow job, I think. I think Turkey, or the team total, maybe over 1.5 for Turkey. They're going to beat Wales, no doubt. In my personal opinion, I mean,
I have no idea. I didn't even cap that Wales game today because without Gareth Bale, I don't know much about that team. So I did think the final score was like 4-2 or something. Because I thought,
yeah, I mean, you would as you know, I don't really rate Wales much these days, but I would have certainly still expected them to beat Armenia at home. So to lose against Armenia at home, conceding 4 goals against Armenia at home, I don't. That's beggars belief, isn't it? How that can happen?
Yeah, I didn't really know which way to look at it. I thought it would be low scoring though, really.
Yeah,
I saw that final score. It was kind of like, yeah, what the hell? I'm glad I stayed away from that one because I would have leaned under and probably Wales. So thank God I didn't touch that one.
I do wonder if Ethan Ampadu is the curse for Wales. I mean, did you see the stat about him recently? The last 3 seasons, he's been on loan from Chelsea, right, to Sheffield United, Venezia, and now Spezia. And he's been relegated in all 3 seasons. And now, obviously, he's transferring his club form to national form. He started tonight. So every
time he goes to one of those clubs, they get relegated?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm not superstitious at all, but you might not. I don't think I'd be wanting any part of that guy on my team.
Yeah, maybe he's cursing Wales as well now. Latvia, by the way, you're right. They are an improving nation. They used to be fucking terrible, didn't they? But they've actually put up a lot of better results in the last certainly 12 months. So I like this pick. I must say, I think it's a great pick. I think both teams should go for it as well because it gives them, a 0-0 draw is not going to do anything to anyone, is it? So
yeah, I think so too. And when you look at the metrics too, they don't, and everyone else knows I'm a metrics person, but theirs don't really make sense. So this is more of just like a gut feel pick here because when you look at their metrics versus Turkey today, it's like at one point they have 27% possession, then 22, then 29, but it doesn't matter, right? They take their shots and they make them count and they score. So typically I wouldn't be taking a team to score that is having such a low rate of possession. But yeah, I like this pick. We're going to take a crack at it.
I think it's a good one. Yeah, and like I say, I'm not actually going to add it on the graphics, but Turkey to beat Wales at nearly even money. I've got to be getting on that, definitely. Or the team total I might even take instead, because or in addition to it. But yeah, we'll move on to the final picks now. We're going to use Spain against Croatia. Now you've got a treble coming up involving this game. I'm going to have, this is Nations League, not qualifiers. The Nations League final, so silverware is at stake. Now, it may only be the UEFA Nations League, a bit like the sort of the Conference League of international football. It's still a trophy, and Croatia and Spain would certainly enjoy winning it. Certainly Croatia would. I think it means a lot to them. And I'm going to take a stab at Croatia to win this trophy at plus 150. Spain, for me, they always play nice football. They always play with a lot of passing. I'm still not convinced about them offensively. Mm-hmm. Yes, they scored twice against Italy. I think Italy played into their hands the other night. I think Italy just sat back and were too negative.
Yep.
I think Croatia have got a bit more. They've got more bottle, haven't they? Overall, they're a tough team. And I think this is the end of their window. The golden generation window. You know, some might say, "Oh, why can't they win Euro 2024?" I actually think the extra year is going to make a massive difference. Someone like Luka Modric, there's a couple of other older players who, in just 12 months' time, it may just be beyond them. I mean, they've been runner-up in the World Cup. They've been, third place in the World Cup. Did they do all right in the Euros? Was it like a quarter-final appearance in that? A few years ago.
I don't remember. I think they did decent. They've been doing well. Yeah, I love this team.
They've done everything apart from win something, and I think they deserve to win something, and I think that everyone knows this is their big opportunity. So I'll take a stab at plus 150. I think, fair. Spain probably deserve to be slight favourites, but not such a heavy favourite to win the trophy. I think Croatia are a bit underrated here, and that this also is going to be part of your treble involving Croatia. Croatia plus 1.5 is part of the selection. We're also getting involved in Luxembourg against your favourite team, Liechtenstein. A team total over 1.5 goals for Luxembourg, and England against North Macedonia. Again, the team total over 1.5 goals. Put them three together. Croatia plus 1.5 on the Asian, and you get in plus money treble plus 105. So what's your take on this Croatia game? Am I going to cash with that to win the trophy, One Ash?
I certainly hope so. I was all over them in the last match. I know everyone was riding the Netherlands, but I tell you what, to me, not like they don't have talent, but there's a lot to be said for experience, right? And especially experience like on the big stage. And Croatia has that. So there's no team they're going to face, be it Netherlands or, any team, Spain, that they're going to walk out onto the pitch not feeling like they have a shot to win, So, I may just end up playing as a single Croatia double chance. I love this team. They have grit. They have heart. They're definitely not one of the teams where you have to wonder sometimes, like France today, are they going to come out and play like they're capable of today, or are they going to half-ass it or something like that? They're going to give you all they have all the time, which is just another thing that I love about them. And they have the talent, like I said, in the experience. Love Luka Modric. He played spectacular versus Netherlands. He's just an integral part to that team. So as long as he's with them, I'm going to ride with Croatia. I love the plus 1.5 in the treble here. I'm hoping they take it to Spain, and I'm thinking there's a good chance they do. I think you nailed Spain perfectly. They're pretty to watch as far as the passing, right? It's like poetry in motion, but something's wrong with their finishing. And it's not when it comes to Croatia. They kind of know how to close these matches out. And the other two, Yeah, just self-explanatory. So with team totals, North Macedonia, they're they're not an easy team to break down, but let's just, I mean, just cut to it here. England is just a far superior team, defensively and offensively. So England should score twice here. If they don't, they're just not trying. Did you have something to say at that point?
Yeah. Sorry, I was actually on mute. I was going to butt in. It would have been a little bit rude of me, but I was watching England tonight against Malta, and it's been a while since I felt this because Malta, I think, are a bit of an awkward team. I mean, Italy
Uh-huh.
only just scraped past them last month,
Hmm.
a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
England made it look very, very easy, and I know they were expected to make it look easy, but an England side, say 5 years ago, would have won that 2-0.
Hmm.
Like they probably could have had 6 or 7 if they wanted it tonight. And
Oh
I
yeah.
think this England team is it is a machine against lesser nations. And
Yeah.
North Macedonia are a lesser nation.
Yeah. They are.
It's very difficult to see England not getting 2 goals in this game.
Right. I would be surprised if they don't. If they don't, I won't feel bad about the pick. I'll just know that it's simply a lack of motivation, right? Like with France today, France could have put up 6. So yeah, England should put up 2. Luxembourg, they are actually an improving side. Like I was saying earlier in the show, they're not like a team that you laugh at anymore. I mean, you're not going to take them against right like the top 10 teams in the world or anything, but they're improving, number one. And number two, and probably most importantly, is literally, this is not hyperbole. Like, I fade Andorra, San Marino, teams like that. But literally, the team, if Liechtenstein is on the slate, I always look for a way to try to play the other side, no matter who they are. So I like Luxembourg tomorrow. They're an improving side. They're playing what to me is just the worst team that plays this sport. So if they don't put up 2, yeah, I'll just take my chances that they do. I feel like you and I would have a decent shot to score at least 1 on Liechtenstein. So yeah, 2 team totals, and then Croatia just to avoid defeat and by 2 goals, which I don't see Croatia really losing to any team in the world right now by 2 clear goals. So yeah, gets us a little plus money. So I like it.
Yeah, I was looking at the Luxembourg game. I was disappointed. I think the books have been quite sharp with the main Asian line here, -2.5. As bad as Liechtenstein are, I don't know if I could stomach -2.5 Asian on Luxembourg. They should still cover though, because you're right. It's Liechtenstein have become alarmingly bad. I don't think they were always this bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I've only been
terrible.
capping for a few years, but they've been absolute shit ever since I've been doing it. So that's all I go by, right?
They just lost 7-0 at home to Iceland. I mean,
Yeah,
that's just...
and like the U says here, always max motivation for Croatia and Spain, not quite. Yeah, and I think that does matter, right?
Mhm.
Like I said, it's a big deal to me when I see Croatia on the board because I dive into the metrics. But the first thing that I know is this team going to play hard and give it all they have? And it's always a yes with Croatia. Those guys just play with heart, and to me, that's a big part of the battle already won right there. So,
yeah, thank you very much for the comment, the you. And you're spot on. I think it really does matter a lot more for Croatia in this game overall, really. That concludes it for this show. We'll be back. We're not going to be back next week because I'm actually away. I'm in Switzerland on holiday next week. I won't actually be that far away from Liechtenstein, funnily enough.
Go over there and score a goal on them.
Yeah, I know, right? So yeah, there won't be a show next week. After that, then the All Angles premium service is set to start on, I think it was the 1st of July we discussed.
July
it will
1st.
be July the 1st. So yes, do look out for that. Yep. Where myself and Ashley Waite will be, as I say, premium in the Telegram channels. But best of luck, whatever you're taking this weekend with the internationals. And yeah, remember to gamble responsibly. And I wish Lady Luck to be with you.
Yes, good luck to everybody, and we'll see you when Steve gets back from the beautiful Switzerland and gets back from holiday. See you guys.
See y'all. Take care.